My whole thing is these days it seems like they're so eager to push a game out because they know that consumers will buy it regardless of what they release. So somebody actually taking the time to delay a game to make sure
Quality
that
over
it's as
quantity.
perfect as they want it, that works for me.
Right.
If it takes them another year, to release this game, it just means that they took their time with that much level of care to actually do the work. As opposed to, and I swear by this game, I've loved it from day one, but Cyberpunk 2077. That game came out and it has the rep that it has because they just said, screw it, send it. And look at what we got.
And
Recently, PlayStation actually just released their State of Play. A couple of the games on that list were Destiny 2 Lightfall DLC,
We've been rocking Street Fighter.
So excited for Baldur's Gate.
Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
Okay, here we go.
So we're a couple weeks behind, but recently PlayStation actually just released their State of Play for the beginning of 2023. A couple of the games on that list were kind of interesting. A couple of them are new, never heard of. So I'll just go through the list real quick. We got the Foglands, Green Hell, Journey to Foundation, Before Your Eyes, and those first 5 ones are all going to be PlayStation VR games. PlayStation VR 2, which just released. Destiny 2 is coming out with its Lightfall DLC. Chia is this PlayStation Plus game that's been coming out. It looks really interesting. I think my kids would be interested in it. I might even check it out. It seems a little bit like Kena Bridge of Spirits. Humanity, Goodbye Volcano High, Naruto Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections, which I've got some thoughts on that. And they're not good. Baldur's Gate 3, Wayfinder.
Yes, I'm so excited for Baldur's Gate.
Street Fighter 6.
I'm excited for that.
That looks dope.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 remake. It seems like they're trying to remake all of the Resident Evil games. And unfortunately, this one we recently heard has got pushed back and possibly to 2024. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
Which the gameplay on that, when I saw the video, looked really cool. It's just, like at least the graphics, and when they were going through all of that, they had an interview with the makers of the game that I watched earlier today that I really liked the way that they were trying to push it, but I'm kind of curious how they're going to accomplish a lot of it. I've never really gotten into that before. I'm not a really big DC person, so that was an interesting take for me, but I love the way that they kind of portrayed it.
So,
isn't that canon though?
It is. It's happened a couple times.
It has happened a couple times.
It did happen in the New 52 of DC.
The abilities for the characters were
Trigon, thank you.
Trigon, doing more of a Spider-Man type thing, being able to just kind of use her little grappling hook and go through the whole town, go to Gotham.
Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang's got the Speed Force Gauntlet, which that kind of I never even heard of that before.
So do you not like it because you're unfamiliar with the story?
No, it's not that I don't like it. It looks very interesting. Like gameplay wise, it looks very fun.
It's just confusing.
It is confusing to me because it's like they're pulling Spider-Man, they're pulling a couple different games into this, and it's not as authentic or as DC related as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, my issue with Kill the Justice League, it seemed like a great concept when they first announced it, before we actually had any kind of gameplay, and then when we got first person shooter, I'm just kind of confused. Like, how does that apply to every character that you're using from the Justice League? It doesn't work for me.
I think that their big thing is, I feel like nowadays anything that comes out in the superhero realm is very wary of getting too close to Marvel's Avengers formula, because that game tanked very hard. So I feel like they're doing their best to do whatever they can for Suicide Squad. That honestly is fine with me. That's one of the things that I think is interesting, because it lets you play the game in different ways. And for somebody like me, it gives me a reason to play the game multiple times through. Oh, you know what? This time I'm going to play Harley, and I'm going to see Harley's cutscenes. If If you follow Gotham Knights, or if you've played Gotham Knights, every single time you play as a different hero, you can see that specific hero's cutscenes.
It felt like they were just giving us first person for every character. And if they went the route of Gotham Knights, I really enjoyed Gotham Knights. I like the fact that it's third person, that I could see my character and that my characters have different moves. Like it's very specific to that character rather than, copy and paste with a new skin.
Joe had a different perspective
Right.
that I found interesting, because when they pushed it back, we were speaking offline, and we found out that they were pushing the date back for this game, and a couple of us got upset, like, they don't know what they're doing. This game is going to be trash. Right. But Joe had an opposing opinion to that. He's like, good, push it back. I support that. Joe, could you explain your reason behind that?
My whole thing is, these days, it seems like they're so eager to push a game out because they know that consumers will buy it regardless of what they release. So somebody actually taking the time to delay a game to make sure that it's as perfect as they want it, that works for me. Right. If it takes them another year to release this game, it just means that they took their time with that much level of care to actually do the work. As opposed to, and I swear by this game, I've loved it from day one, but Cyberpunk 2077. That game came out and it has the rep that it has because they just said, screw it, send it. And look at what we got.
You and I both know, just like everybody else here, when we talk about certain games that have been pushed back, and we knew that it got pushed back. So like Forspoken was supposed to come out late game 2022. But it got pushed to 2023, right? And it was a very anticipated game, right. I would imagine. I mean, it was anticipated to me. And I was already, from the reviews showing the gameplay, I thought I was going to put it in the realm of a nominee of Game of the Year. And then after playing it, even after being delayed, I feel like whatever it is that they did, why they delayed it, it didn't make much of a difference. So, could it be that this game could benefit and be that much more, like you were saying, or could it be like Forspoken?
My thing is, on that point is, you are very right. You are absolutely right, Spartacus. That is absolutely a possibility. They could delay this game for 5 years. It could come out and it could be complete hot dog water.
Man,
that's possible.
Nasty.
But in Forspoken's case, the gameplay itself feels clean. There is a learning curve to Forspoken, but once you learn that curve, the gameplay itself, I haven't noticed any bugs. I haven't noticed no crazy like drops in frame rate or anything game breaking like that. So if that's the result of them taking their time, then okay.
Right.
The problem with Forspoken is the story and the characters.
About the new game that's coming, the
Naruto.
So
that's like kind of segueing off of what Book was saying. I would hope that they kind of go back to the drawing boards with this Naruto, Boruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm connections. I feel like they're just going to give us DLC that they could have just thrown into Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 and try to call it a new game. This is like the fourth time that we're getting a reiteration of the Storm games. It feels like it's rushed. It feels like it's because we all know that Tenkaichi 4 was recently announced, and it feels like they're like, oh yeah, Tenkaichi 4 came out, so now we got to compete with Dragon Ball Z. I'm sorry, you will never be able to compete. You will never be able to compete with Budokai Tenkaichi series. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I do love the Ultimate Ninja Storm series, don't get me wrong, but if you're just going to give us basically what Ultimate Ninja Storm's Generations was, which was just a reiteration of 1, 2, and 3 in one game, then I don't want it.
But I tell you what I am looking forward to. I am looking forward to that Street Fighter though.
That Street Fighter 6 looks pretty dope.
Ooh,
that Street Fighter 6 looks dope.
Amazing.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably talk rings about that because shit, Vernon, you know how it is. We've been playing Street Fighter since, well, actually before high school. But when I met you in high school, we've been rocking Street Fighter all the way up to the crossover games and what have you. Now, my personal favorite Street Fighter is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, but Street Fighter 6 seems like it might be promising because 4 was okay, 5 was what the hell. 6 is like, okay, not only can you fight in regular classic arcade mode, but we're going to give you an open world mode in the game. So I'm like, wait a second. You're telling me that I can make a character in my likeness and learn moves from the Street Fighter characters?
Yeah,
I don't see myself. I can see myself doing the 100-hand slap, but I don't see myself doing the lightning kick from Chun-Li or the spinning bird kick. That's just me. I'm like, I don't want to create a character that's going to do that. But with that essence added in the game, maybe I'll play.
Wait, you saying you can't see yourself doing a Raptor kick? I can see myself.
Oh yeah, I can see myself doing. I could do a hurricane kick in the game, yes. I do, but no king spinning bird kick. No, none of that.
Oh yeah,
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, man, that one. Yeah.
He said.
Or how about them British heels? You will hit them with the British heels. You're gonna hit them with the cami. With the British heels. It's all low, hitting the ankles.
Just so you guys know, British heels is cannon drill. British heels, cannon drill. Okay,
right, I knew it as British heels.
I'm also, and I know this game has been out for years, but Destiny 2 Lightfall, I have loved everything about this game over the years. Don't get me wrong, some of it gets repetitive, but Destiny 2 has been a game that has really stood the test of time when it comes to massive online games. I've always loved the lore. I love the new characters. I love how they added Drifter into it. R.I.P. Cade 6. I really enjoy Destiny, and I think it could last a while. That's one of those games that doesn't feel like they need to reissue a brand new game every single year. Just add another story to it, like add DLC to it. It's like how I feel all sports games should be. Stop giving me a new game every single year.
Yes.
Just give me a new roster and update the patchwork every year.
On a solid engine, yes. Let me ask you a question, Naz, about Destiny. How long has Destiny 2 been running?
Ooh, Destiny 2, 2016?
Right. And the Destiny series came out way early 2000s.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
not early 2000s.
Yeah.
So, not early 2000s. Roughly like 2013, maybe 2014.
So Naz, are you saying that Destiny 2 is like Fortnite? Where they just keep doing
don't disrespect.
I mean, I haven't played it. Forgive me. I ain't trying to. I'm just saying because it's the same game, and they just keep updating it. Like
but you don't turn into a tower whenever you die.
They're updating the story.
People don't build on top of you and
whatnot.
whatnot.
Better.
It's like Halo meets Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
man,
that's what.
That sounds
yes,
amazing.
with magic
I love
and stuff
those
too.
Games.
Yeah, like you pick whether you want to be a Titan, a Warlock, or a Hunter. Each character has its own specific powers. Whenever they release different powers, each character's powers are completely different from each other. Usually people pick the Titans because they're tanks. They do a lot of damage. Hunters, they're very stealthy. They handle handguns a lot. Warlocks very much using magic quite a bit. A whole double jump situation. It's made by Bungie, so very much.
It has the Halo aspects in there.
Let me never played Halo or something.
Real quick, Matt. There's also raids, just like how there is in Ghost. But a lot.
The raids are so like you want to be a part of a good clan, and then whenever you raid, you want to raid with your clan. You could raid with other people, but raiding with randos is hard because you're going to spend hours in this raid, and it's like 5 different tiers that you might have to go through. Just like everybody has their particular job within the raid, and if you don't do it, everybody dies.
I'll quote one of our friends here: "Destiny 2 is a second job."
It's not like WoW. It's not like WoW. Let's be careful.
World of Warcraft or even the Final Fantasy Online game, the massive multiplayer Final Fantasy game.
It's closer to Final Fantasy 14, but it's not on the same level as Final Fantasy 14. That has been out since like 2013, and it's still going hard.
So hold on, I just deactivated my account.
For what, Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy 14.
Wowzers. So check this out. Like, I mean, as far as Destiny is concerned, it's one of those games. Obviously, we talked offline about like possibly playing this game. Like, I've been playing the game, but I haven't played the game. Is it a game that what I mean by that is like I didn't complete the game yet, But if I wanted to jump in on this raid action,
you can jump in anywhere.
Is it
so? It's very so they start you off at a very they start you off at a higher light level now, so that you don't have to grind so much to catch up to everybody, because the light levels are in like the 1700.
Mandalorian.
You'd be grinding way too long. So then whenever you jump into the game, you can play the story to grind to level up and whatnot, but you can easily just jump into Crucible, which, you know, it doesn't matter what your light level is. Crucible is, you know, it's 5v5 or 6v6, you know, free for all. You could be playing Control, where it's like capture the flag, basically like a team deathmatch. So
but I like I'm
gears.
really interested in the raids though.
Oh, the raids are fun. So the raids are usually a 4-man raid. You pick what the raid's going to be, the level of difficulty from like a novice all the way up to a grandmaster level raid, and then you just go through it.
And the rewards are really good. Like
the rewards are exotic.
The
rewards are exotic level, like gold level gear.
That might be a game to consider playing.
And then there's a lot of DLC, like side missions, that would require you to like complete these 7 different tasks to be able to obtain this weapon that has been vaulted.
Hey, just real quick, are you guys excited for Final Fantasy 16? Because I think that was on the State of Play, wasn't it as well?
I am. Yes.
I know that there's, you know.
Yeah.
I should have led with that. That's my game.
Since y'all are talking about Final Fantasy, I know that we were talking Destiny 2, but Final Fantasy 16, I say, I'm calling it. I'm saying that is going to be a nominee for Game of the Year. It'll be a nominee, not. I don't think it'll win, but I think it'll be nominated.
I just hope that Square Enix does a better job with Final Fantasy 16 than they've done with Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins, or Crisis Core.
I mean, I'm about to narf for a second, if I could.
Remake
but
was good.
This is going to go into the lore of what we know as Espers, Mr. Chill, Espers from Final Fantasy, or summons from Final Fantasy 2, right? It goes into how they actually came in, or they were considered. It's almost like a story of mutant. It goes into these people who have the essence of the summon, or that they are Espers. They have Phoenix. You see Shiva. You're seeing Ifrit. You're seeing Bahamut. All these characters that we know. Anybody from the Final Fantasy lineage, they're people in this game. Like they're people, and inside them are these essences. I don't even know how they're gonna. It looks so beautiful, man. I don't even know how they're gonna drop the story, but it's anticipated.
Well, listen, guys. As you know, but the State of Play is a lot of hype. Everybody loved it. Some people have a lot of questions to ask about it. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below, and tune in next time.
You know how much I love to hate stuff, so I hope they release it. I hope it's trash, so we can come on here. We can do an episode, and I could tell everybody. Tell the world how garbage this game is. So come on, trash
like Anthem,
Hopefully not.
Like an Anthem type trash.
You and only you
have fun.
So guys,